Hey everyone, this is JB. We're back. The legend is back from Solution Sports. We got an 8-game slate here on the cover here on DraftKings. Putting out some content today. Here with about an hour and 40 minutes here before start time at 1:35. Hope you have a great Sunday. Should have some good baseball today. Let's get right into it. Got Milwaukee and Atlanta at 1:35. And again, I always start out, we look at our standings for sure. Let's make sure that we get a good update here on the standings. And guys, Milwaukee is not a slouch team. They've been playing pretty competitive here versus the Braves. Braves, they're kind of trying to get their pitching staff. They've had some injuries to their pitching staff, and they're trying out a lot of guys. They're bringing guys in. Elder was on the mound yesterday. Again, when the pitching is not there for Atlanta, the bats are picking it up. It's like, hey, but Elder had a great game yesterday. He pitched 7 innings, got 3 strikeouts. They put up 17 hits on the Brewers yesterday. Kind of warranted. Julio Teheran, former Brave, he's kind of in the same swimming boat with Wainwright, even though Wainwright's a lot older than Teheran, but they're not in their prime anymore or in their best days of pitching. So they took advantage of him. The guy gave up 9 earned runs, 6 in the first inning, just a bloodbath for him, unfortunately. The game before that, they got behind. Brewers have been, they've been giving their fair share of hits, but they're not loaded like talent-wise. Braves still have a lot, even though they're chinking a little bit with their pitching. They still overall a more talented team than the Brewers. They've thrown them everything they can throw them. Gotten ahead, got runners across the plate, getting hits. They had double-digit hits in the first game, 11 hits. They lost 10-7. And then in the next game, they didn't get as much hits. That's because Elder was on the mound. I think that Chirino was the first one who they got in a trade. But the Braves are tough, man. They're tough. So right now they got Colin Ray on the mound for the Brewers. They're trying not to get swept today. A.J. Smith-Shawver, he's another one of those kind of guys that they're trying out while they're trying to, get their overall pitching staff healthy. With Max Fried and Soroka not really, 100% right now. If those guys come back and they're dealing, Braves gonna be even harder to beat. So let's see if I got a lot of stuff up here, man. So forgive me. So I gotta refresh some stuff here, and I'll get some expected lineups here. AJ, it's not gonna be really much here to really give on him. He's 1-0. His ERA is, in that one game, he's still over 4, so he is hittable. Pretty much, the same culprit of lineup there. Acuna at the top, Albies. If I can get this here off of my page, we can continue. Let's go on to DraftKings here, and we're going to hitters for Atlanta. So far in the series, let's kind of look at the big guys. Acuna had a big game. He pretty much, they've been put up double-digit runs, so the bats are really clicking. So we go over and look at Colin Ray, and we'll look at some things with covers here. His game log, again, he's not really impressive, like dominant pitcher. He isn't really killing anybody. He's not really, if you roster him, but it's hard for me to say roster anybody against the Braves, especially when they're at home right now. And they hadn't really came out to break really like just steaming. They showed a little bit of human in them, So that Boston series wasn't too kind to him. So it looks like they're trying to make up some ground, and they're taking it out on Milwaukee. So this guy has a no decision in his last 3 games. Only pitched more than 5 innings in one of the last 3 games. He's went up against Cincinnati twice and Philly. So strikeouts are mediocre. I mean, if we look at Braves, I'm pretty sure I know the Braves are kind of their top half when it comes to this kind of refreshes. I didn't refresh too much of my stuff, so they're in the top 10 here, so they don't strike out a lot. He's not really a good strikeout pitcher, so I don't really recommend this guy really going against the Braves. In his 5 innings, if he lasts 5 innings, he definitely is going to most likely give up a home run to somebody. So he is a righty. I mean, you can maybe roster Albies or Olsen. I mean, again, all the Braves hitters, you're going to have to pay a penny for them. I mean, they're just that's who they are, man. They're not at the top of the division because of solely pitching like they normally. They're hitting the ball also. So Cunha's having a great season. I mean, he's keeping his average over 300. Olsen has went deep once. He's trying to get up there to 35 home runs, so he's definitely in play. You can roster whoever you want out of that game, honestly, on the Braves. It's up to you to put in there whatever you want, honestly, man, because the Braves they're a tough team to punch out, man. They're like no holds barred, man. Let's go on to the map here. Go on to the 30th. Let's see what kind of runs they're talking about. So again, it's going to be high. Neither pitcher really has a lot of punch out power. If it was a better pitcher on the mound, it's minus 180 for the Braves. It probably would have been over 200. But with AJ, he could probably definitely get got here. So all right, now the Braves are. I don't think this is updated right. I know they haven't lost the last 2 games. They haven't. Let's try to get a refresh, guys. Sorry about that. Haven't had anything really refreshed. So I do like the Braves in this game. I do like the money. If you want to go in on the money line, so they won their last 30 games over 500. Their home record is awesome, man. 34-19. Can they get the sweep? I'm pretty sure they do. I know Milwaukee doesn't want to keep sliding like this because Cincinnati's on their ass. And Cincinnati, I think they did win that first game against the Dodgers, and it looks like they came back and won the second game. The Dodgers did, so they're in a rubber match against the Dodgers. So these two are definitely scoreboard watching. The Cubs are right there. They're winners of their last 8 in a row. So this NL Central is really tightening it up. Them 3 teams are gonna go at it for sure. So the Braves are back up to 500 after getting swept in that Boston series. So they're back to 5-5 in their last 10. Interesting game. If you want to kind of look at, I don't recommend playing Smith Schaller at all. I can already tell. Again, he's not a big punch out guy. And if you look at Milwaukee right now, they are ranked 23 in strikeouts, so he might be above average in Ks. He had 6 against Colorado. Again, he had 3 no decisions. He didn't beat Washington. Cincinnati, he gave up 5 earned runs against them. He's been giving up, 5. Cincinnati's a good team, but 5 earned runs, it's kind of alarming. So that's why the over-under is high. So this game speak offense. I take the Braves for the sweep. I mean, Milwaukee's gotten ahead, or they play competitively in this game, but Atlanta, they just haven't slowed their bats down. I'm not finna look up anything on Ray at all. It doesn't warrant it. Milwaukee will have some batters now. I mean, it's not gonna be just all 11 runs by Atlanta. So I mean, Yelich. They got Santana in there now. Let me see if he's available to be drafted, because Santana came over in a trade A lot of that has to help with Tellez. They're trying to get some more power out of that position. And, I mean, he went off in that San Diego series. This guy, I mean, he's a veteran, but he can still hit the ball. I mean, he can hurt you. So, I mean, he's a switch hitter, but he's much better from the left side. So, a lot of left-hand bats in that lineup is looking really good. Yelich, I mean, not certain what the Diamonds has done in that series, but they're going to try to come out. They don't want to get swept. I'm a firm believer of teams that are at the top of their division or playing competitive ball. You know, they don't want to get swept. So this might be a game where Diamonds can wake up. He hasn't hit a home run in a while. I mean, this is a spot for him to kind of be the captain and lead the wave. Thing about him, if they can put up a little rally, he's batting behind Contreras and Yelich, so there are going to be some opportunities for him. Got 17 home runs. I'm going to drop him in there. I mean, Smith-Shaw is going to give up something for sure. He's going to give up some runs, you know, so don't just be biased about Atlanta at all. Don't just think Atlanta's just going to be able to just run over these guys. I mean, the Brewers are a well coached team. Matty, he can definitely get you back to the top of the leaderboard. I mean, he's dangerous, man. I mean, he's going to get a lot of RBI opportunities. Had 1 in the last game, 2 in the first game. He had 3 in this Arizona game. So I'm pretty sure he's trying to get up to 100 RBIs. You know, so Colin Ray is more like maybe their 3rd or 4th starter in the rotation. I know Freddie Peralta and Corbin Burns are kind of 1 and 2, but Atlanta, man, I mean, they just force you to buy down on pitchers because, I mean, their hitters are so damn expensive. I mean, even Albies is $5,600. Michael Harris used to be like 3 Gs. He's $4,300. I mean, everybody on his damn team is hot. How the hell does Marcell Ozuna is $4,100? Even Ozuna is $4,100. I mean, he's lighting it up in the series, but trust me, he's definitely a hot, cold player. I mean, this is kind of an anomaly to see him have back-to-back games with home runs. So definitely something going on with him, and he's seen Milwaukee really good. 4,100. I mean, that's a lot. If he comes up and put a donut out, it's not going to be nice. So. These are my 2 favorite plays I got up here in the lineup: Builder, Olsen, and Adames. They're very expensive, definitely. Don't like any of the pitchers in this game. I like the left-hand bats for both sides, honestly. I mean, Contreras, you got to kind of watch him. He's batting second. He's kind of like the Contreras from St. Louis. They can get you. He got a home run yesterday. He got a double. He's actually hitting the ball not bad. 2 hits in each of the first 2 games. So it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, if you're able to pick the game up on League Pass or any local network, I mean, definitely tune in. Not a lot to really look forward to in the pitching here. So, I mean, Contreras can more than likely. They had 3 RBIs in that game. I mean, so he's definitely, him and Ozuna is definitely jacked up in this game, honestly. 4,800. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Got Philly and Pittsburgh. And, again, not a lot here. You know, Philly, they're kind of like the Mets. You know, the Braves are tough. I mean, they're, 8 games over 500, and they're still 11 games back. So they lost the last game. I mean, Pittsburgh is trying to find themselves, but they fell off really bad. You know, they're 12 games under 500. If they was in the Braves division, they'll be even further back. But everybody still, man, got a chance in this NL Central, if not to win it, to maybe even get a wild card. But I'm not a big proponent of any of these teams because outside of Nola, no one's really, maybe Suarez a little bit, but no one's really been pitching great for Philly, honestly. And their bats have been up and down. This Sanchez fella, I mean, 2 no decisions in his last. He hasn't touched a win in a while. And he's a lefty, so that kind of helps him a little bit. He might be able to get a win today. I mean, Sawinski is pretty good, man, versus righties. He's definitely, he's one of the better names that's always thrown around for Pittsburgh. So, Reynolds, again, not really living up to the contract, but he's gotten a hit in the last 3 games. He's a switch hitter. Let's see what the consensus says. I got to kind of look into the pitchers a little bit more in this game. But I'm not really a big fan of this game. I'm not a real big fan of Rich Hill. Christopher probably has a more upside. Philly needs to win. Both these teams are kind of the same boat, right? Both need to win, honestly. We'll look at some home and road specs on this one. 9 over under, that's about where it should be. Again, both teams aren't really hitting the ball with consistent effort right now. So let's see how Pittsburgh does at home. A little bit better, 24-27. A lot worse on the road. As for Philly, they're 500 away, so they play competitive on the road. Talent-wise, this is a game they should win. I mean, Philly's still trying to figure out their pitching staff. They're a young team. They lost the last game. They dropped the last game. Just going to DK Live and see what's going on here. So in the Braves game, again, for the first couple hours, not too much of a rain. It is as it goes down into 4 o'clock, the rain does kind of, so they should be able to get that game in with no issues. Pirates, I mean, the wind is blowing out about 10 to 12 miles to right field in that Braves game. So again, that's all offense there. At Truist Park and then SunTrust Park. Wind blowing out straight about 5 miles in the Phillies and Pirates game. No rain in sight, so that's clear. The Pirates won by 1 run yesterday, 7-6. They held Phillies off. Harper didn't do much. No one hit a home run for them, so someone's probably most likely going to go deep today. I don't know who, but they didn't hit a damn home run yesterday. Figueroa hit one for the Pirates. Andy Rodriguez, he's only 2,200. He had a 25 fantasy point performance. McCutcheon didn't do much. Reynolds was kind of quiet. He had 5. Sawinski had 8. So all of this was done by the lower kind of 6 to 9 spots. Top of the order didn't do much. Figueroa had 22 fantasy points. So I guess situational hitting came through for them. Ji-Man Choi, he's a former Tampa Bay Ray. He's with Pittsburgh now. He had 2 hits. So again, man, I mean, I think that's going to be another close game. I think Philly has the edge in pitching. But again, man, Philly is they're one of those teams you bet on and they let you down, man. They're not what they were last year. Something's definitely going on with that team. Can't really call it, but they should win this game. I think their bats should bounce back. Harper can hit lefties. Schwarber. I see this kind of seem like a mini Braves Brewers game. I see a lot of offense in this game. So Schwarber's in that leadoff spot again. He's at 20. His average is bad, man, but he's just a main slugger, man. So he got a home run the first game. Didn't get any hits yesterday. I mean, he can run it back at 4,600. I mean, he's been up to 5,100, 52 early in the year. He was flirting with 6,000. He got a lot of home runs, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is a lefty on lefty. So, we'll kind of we'll do some stuff here. How about that? We'll go into the roto wire. I know that's what you guys want to see. Because he's a leadoff hitter, man. So, let's see how he does versus lefty. I think he's a lot better versus right-handers. But it's definitely a warrant to go look at. He got 11. He got his share. I mean, his slugging is actually pretty good versus lefty, more than versus righty. How about that? Seen a lot more righties than lefties. So 16 versus 16 at right, and then 11 left. So he's seen it pretty good. Away, his slugging is a little bit better. It's kind of even on everything. He sees the ball better during the nighttime than the daytime. Slugging takes a big hit during the daytime. So, much better on grass. .468 slugging. So I think the field in Pittsburgh at PNC Park is grass. So, he's definitely he's one of them players, man. He's one of them players that at the end of the day, when everything's done, man, he can have like 35 points. He's one of them multi-home run kind of guys. He's dangerous. So when he goes hitless in the game, he's not bad to go back and bounce back with. So Harper right now, he's kind of not the Harper that we know. He's making a lot of money, but I don't know what's going on with him. During the daytime, he's a very good batter during the daytime. 312 average, .846 OPS, slugging, not bad. So that's good to know. He does good on grass too. He's doing pretty decent with runners in scoring position, but his slugging's not there. He only got 5 home runs on the year, so he's definitely hurting. Something's going on with him. He's not. I mean, he does something a little bit here and there, but he's not a Harper that we know of. But he's handling left-handers, not bad. 280 average. Slugging is not bad. He's got a couple home runs, kind of similar there. So he can hit lefties, and if he does, normally he hits it with power to the opposite. He's a good opposite field hitter. So I mean, Schwarber, you cannot run him in there. Castellanos he's one of the league leaders in doubles. I mean, he's always a threat there to get RBIs. He hasn't had any RBIs in his last 2 games. And let's look at. I mean, they could be, they can definitely be a sneak team today, especially with them losing yesterday. Now people are going to be on them today, but they can jump in. They like to jump on pitchers in the first inning. Philly, they love doing that. So 60 RBIs, again, where he bats in the order, he gets a lot of RBI opportunities. When Castellano bats, I mean, he's in the second spot, so he's batting between Harper and Schwarber, so he's gonna get something to hit. They got Bowman at 4th spot, Turner batting 5th. That's quite interesting. That's very interesting to me. So versus lefty, doesn't do too well. I think this pitcher for them is a lefty. Oh my God! So Rich Hill definitely, man, 7-10. Yep. This guy's not very impressive. So Philly's definitely in play today, guys. I don't really like Rich Hill at all. This is the second game. I don't like any of the pitchers. Once again, don't like him, man. Versus lefty, his average is good. He just doesn't have the power, but he has some sample size of home runs there. His OPS is great. Got almost 3 times the amount of at bats versus right and lefty, so his sample size is decent. At home, he's a lot better at home, not as much on the road. He sees the ball excellent during the daytime. Over 300 average, .899 OPS, .530 slugging. So he has 40 RBIs with runs in scoring position, guys. So that's pretty good. 255 average with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. So, and his slugging with it's .448. So he's gonna get opportunities. He sees good during the daytime. He can, hit for average. So Castellanos is a great play, man. Rich Hill, man, if he gives him opportunity, man, he's definitely gonna have some. You don't have to battle with him, man, to try to get him out. He's an outfielder 4,400, so you can drop Castellanos in there. I'm gonna take Matty out. His salary is just so much right now. I'm gonna run a couple Milwaukee instead. So we move on. No pitchers in that game. I do respect the pitcher actually for Philly, but I mean you can probably roster him. I mean he's 7,200. I mean he's got some value. He hasn't won, but he's just had some unlucky. Look, I mean the games he's been in, they're low scoring. Like his 2-0 decisions, 2-3 and 3-5. So he can get K's at Ed against Baltimore. You know, he's been kind of hovering around 10 to 15 fantasy points, but he's kind of a sleeper, man. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of a sleeper. So I mean, Pittsburgh again, they don't really like scare you. They're not. They're under 500 at home and on the road, man. So run the lefty out there, you know, and see what he does, man. If he come out and get you like one of these 18 or 20 points, you'll be able to buy up for some bats, and that'll be good. He hasn't had any like negative, right? So yeah, give Sanchez a shot, man. So we know that Scherzer has departed for the Rangers. So again, we see teams who really want to bring a championship to their city and making some very important moves. Verlander, he's back on the mound. He had a good game against the Yankees. He's going against the Washington team. He's a righty, so he'll be going up against some lefties. So I don't know if he had a start versus them. No, he hasn't. So he's clearly their number one guy now. He's their ace. So, you know, Washington, they don't really have. They're kind of developing their identity of their pitching. This guy gave up 4 earned runs to Colorado. You know, he doesn't really, to me, it doesn't look like he got out pitch. He doesn't have any like 8, 9, 10 strikeout games. So the Mets are in play here, man. I mean, we know Polar Bear did pretty good. In that game, he had 2 home runs against him. So anytime Verlander hits the mound, that money line is going to be high. It's minus 230, man. So New York hasn't been putting up a lot of points lately. When are they gonna have like a outburst? You know, like an offensive outburst. You know, one of them 9-10 games. I mean, they definitely are capable of doing it, but I mean, they lost yesterday, 11-6. Carrasco took the mound, so you know what happens. I went Corbin and Carrasco, that's runs. So they got 6 runs yesterday, but again, 10 Nationals, they can be spoilers. So the Mets were 5-1 in the first game. A lot of that was all Polar Bear. And then the Nationals 11-6 at 13 points in that game. And you know, when these guys go off, they're not really like, you know, household names. So Candelario's been on a chopping block. I would say proceed with caution. He may be traded. Meneses had a good game. The heart of the order, 3-4-5, came alive, man. And then Stone Garrett and Riley Adams, he got a start. I mean, lots of hits, 13 hits for those guys. So, and they did it without putting the ball over the fence. That's what they do. I mean, that's impressive for the Nationals to have 11 runs and not even a home run was involved. And then New York had 2 home runs, one by Lindor and actually 3. Actually 4. 4 home runs by the Mets, and they only put up 6 runs. So the Mets they've been having a lot of issues, man, like putting quality innings together with offense. You know, they hit home runs and a lot of people aren't on base, or they'll get somebody on base or 2 people on base, and they get in a and they hit a double play, you know. So they always trying to pull the damn ball. That's a problem. So this is over under 8.5. This is a game the Mets should dominate. You know, I think they should probably get about another 6 to 7 runs in this game. Verlander should dominate them. But again, Washington, they don't strike out. So, I mean, I don't know if you're going to take, again, the teams that don't strike out a lot, and if you're in prize picks, I say go under. Cleveland don't strike out, Washington don't strike out. There might be talented or power pitchers on the mound, but I'll take the under every time. They make contact, guys. They make contact. That's how they win. I just showed you. They put up 11 runs with no home runs. So that should tell you right there. But I do like Verlander. Don't see really Washington getting more than maybe a couple runs. So it's going to be like a 6-2 game. Right? So 66% consensus for the Mets. So this again, they need a win. It's a team they should put away. Alright, then you got Tampa Bay going against Houston. It should be another good game. In that Mets game, the wind is blown out to about right field, 8 miles an hour, 78 degrees. Pleasant there. So the Marlins are in Marlins Park. That's the dome. Screwball is on the mound, and Jesus Luzardo. Those are two good pitchers. And let's go back here. Hold on, because I might be jumping the gun here. So we're gonna talk Tigers and Marlins here. I don't really trust the Mets, man. I don't really know what to call it. They do got a good matchup against this guy, Trevor Williams. He's a righty. Gave up a home run, 5 earned runs against him last time in 7 innings pitched. He only had 4 fantasy points. So, if we look at their lineup, I mean, Lindor could easily come back with another good performance, right? Got McNeil, Nimmo, Vogelbach. I mean, anybody could. They got, decent power up and down that lineup. I mean, anybody can go deep. I mean, Vogelbach. Let's see, Vogelbach. He's in there. He's only 2,200. He's in there for one thing and one thing only. That's to hit the ball over the fence. So he hasn't done much in the 2 games, but he's in the part of the order where he can definitely pick up some RBIs. Nemo's been swinging pretty good, but he's just been kind of missing. He's got to wake up eventually. I'll drop Nemo in there. McNeil again. I mean, I like the lefties in their lineup, man. So they're pretty affordable. Let's see, between Nemo and McNeil, one of them should come out and have a multi-hit game today. I already got Adames in the shortstop, so can't really roster Lindor, but he had a good game. I mean, I believe Lindor is going to follow up yesterday with another good game. He's just been kind of unlucky. He's been really hitting the ball, but he's just been hitting at people. He's been hitting it hard, so we got a good matchup today. He definitely can put Lindor back in there. I see the Mets, it's a 9 over under. I see most of the runs going their way, so. Adames and Lindor in that shortstop position, they both look good. Alright, so Detroit and Miami, both of these teams are kind of struggling. I like Luzardo. You're going to pay a lot for him. He had a great game his last start at home, man. He shut Colorado down, man. 13 strikeouts. It's going to be kind of hard for him to top that again, but he's looking good today. If we go to covers, I'm pretty sure this over-under is going to probably be kind of low. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, 7 over-under. Don't see a lot of offense. Don't see a lot of power in this game. Actually, Screwball, I was kind of surprised by how he pitched in his last game against San Francisco. And man had 9 strikeouts. He was just on that day. So, let's look at his road record, because that was at home. Look at that away. He's terrible. Terrible at home, man. I mean, away, 4.4. So, I mean, Miami, man, they haven't been generating runs. I mean, they got shut out yesterday. It's a day to wake up. I mean, Soler's been really bad lately. I don't know if he's tapped out or what, man. I mean, Arraez, he did a little something. But, I mean, he's fighting. He's flirting with 400 still. I mean, but Screwball got some good stuff, man. You know, how he pitches at Marlins Park remains to be seen. I think he's gonna be a little bit more vulnerable, but Ramirez is always in play. I mean, no matter who's up there, the guy is a great contact hitter. I mean, you can kind of flirt with Soler's actually scratched. You know, he's struggling. He's out of the lineup, man. So Luzardo is a great player today. You're gonna pay a lot for him, but he's probably the top. Look at that, 11 grand. That's a lot, though, man. He cripples you if you put him in a lineup. If I put him in right now, I'm down to 4,000 remaining per player. So I have to probably throw somebody in like, I don't know. Let's see if I throw in like Hendricks. I got 2,800 left. So you can definitely still get him in there. And most of these guys I got in here are around $4,000. So he is affordable. Detroit's lineup. They got Verling, Ibanez, Torkelson. He's probably their lone bright spot with power. He kind of destabilizes Green. Baez hasn't been doing much. So nothing really in that lineup scares you at all, man. Honestly, for Luzardo. And then with them not having Soler in that lineup for Miami, their power ability goes way down. I mean, they're probably best power hitter after that is Gurriel. They got John Birdie in a cleanup spot. Ugly, man. So yeah, that's gonna be an ugly game, boring game. No offense in that game. I like both pitchers, guys. I think both pitchers can get anywhere from 7 to 10 strikeouts apiece, and definitely hold under three earned runs. I mean, so I don't know who's gonna win that game. I don't know if Miami can hit Screwball to win the game. I mean, they'll have to get some runs for Luzardo. He didn't. You know, it's so funny. I think it was up like 3-0. He pitched such a great game in that last game, and look, he didn't even win. They let Colorado come back and win the damn game. It was the weirdest damn thing ever, man. They robbed that man of that win, but this guy's been excellent this year. I mean, he should come out and dominate Detroit. Yeah, I think again he pitched very well at home. Let's see, yep. Look at that. His whip is .96, 2.32. I mean, Marlins Park is a pitcher's park, so I mean you can get real students and play both those pitchers out of that game because both those lineups are ugly, man. So don't really like any hitters in that game at all except for Ramirez. That's about it, man. I don't really care for anybody else. I can't really be a cheerleader for Baez. He's been terrible the last. I mean, the guy hasn't hit a home run since July 19th. And it's been over a month since he's hit a home run. He went hitless yesterday. He scored a run, but he strikes out a lot, man. I mean, he should have over 10 home runs by now for what they're paying him. But he got a tough matchup against Luzardo, but he could get lucky. Who knows, man? These are the kind of games where guys who are struggling like him, they'll get a home run, and no one will have him because no one expects him to. But that's a fantasy aspect of it. So he did good in the first game. You know, he padded his stats a little bit by stealing a base. So these are probably, most upside player in the lineup. Him and Torkelson. If somebody's got to score to win, right? We know that. So I'll just have to go with the talented team, the talented players. Let's see what Torque has been doing. He got 15 home runs. Didn't do anything yesterday. Looked good in the first game, but again, these guys got Luzardo, man. So I don't know. I mean, he can get hit, man, but he's been looking Teflon on the mound. But I mean, Torkelson, he had back-to-back games here where he didn't get a hit. So, I mean, he's normally, look, he had 3 games here where he didn't even get a hit. So, he could definitely go hitless again today, or he could have a 2-hit game. I don't know, but if you roster Detroit, I'm telling you, their batter's going to be very lowly on. So, if they get lucky between him and Baez, if one of them get a home run, you're gonna pass a lot of people in your contest. It's worth a risk. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, if he doesn't go like 7 or 8 innings, then maybe they get something when the bullpen comes in. Because both teams are not good. Their bullpens aren't that great. So think about that. Maybe on their third or fourth at bat, they don't face the starters and they get lucky, right? So we got Minnesota and Kansas City. We got Maeda on the mound. Not the Maeda that we knew of in his prime, but I mean, he's getting strikeouts, guys, and Kansas City strikes out a lot. There we go. He dominated him last time, so I like him again. Let's look at their lineup. Let's see if they got one out there. And I can't move, so okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm pretty sure the over-under probably low on this. So they got Garcia. We got Witt Jr. Carrera, man, I don't know what to say about that guy. He doesn't look the same. Sorry about that, my device fell. Let's look at some weather in this game. So it's gonna be interesting to see. So the wind is blowing out. Hitters weather in New York and Citi Field. Wind is blowing in Kansas City. Not much, about 5 miles, and it changes at 4 o'clock and starts blowing out. The wind is kicking in Chicago and Citi Field. That's gonna bode well for the batters. We're gonna talk about that next, but let's look at Witt. You know, he's one of my favorite players. I mean, they got Yarbrough up there on the mound. He's a little bit more one of their stable pitchers, but he can get hit. Maeda is definitely the pitcher you want to go with in this game. He's just shown that he can. He's shown that he can beat these guys, man. So, he's good. He's very crafty on the plate. He moves his pitches around. Witt has been showing off in the series. Can Maeda cool him off? Who knows? But he is the first guy you want to look at in the lineup. So he's taking it out. He was struggling there in that Yankees series to find himself consistently in the Cleveland series, and he's a beast now. He's been putting you up there, so he may continue again. Yesterday, let's see, they won 10-7. It was a shootout. Jordan Liza's not good. Looks like they got the over. The other game was 8-5. So I mean, they got a good pitcher on the mound today. I think that all that batting and runs and stuff in Kansas City seizes today. They gotta go through Maeda. So they still got a 9.5 over under in this game. Yarbrough, he probably won't last long. I don't think he's gonna go like a long distance. 5,300 should tell you why. He normally sticks around 4 to, if lucky, 6, but he's more of a 4 to 5 inning pitcher. And he's not like astonishing out there. Look at that, 13 fantasy points in 10. His strikeouts are down. He doesn't give up the long ball a lot, which is good for him because his stuff is very deceiving based on his delivery. But I mean, he will give up a run, maybe even 2 in those 4 or 5 innings he's in. He's given up a lot of hits, man. 6 hits in his last 3 games, and just lasting a little over 5 to 6 innings. So in his last 3 games, he's picked up 2 wins. So they've been giving him some run support, right? Been some low-scoring games that he's been in. So I see this too. I don't know what they got this 9.5 over under in, but I think I will go under if you want to bet on that. I do respect Yarbrough. I do respect Maeda. So I think this game turns the tide. I think this is more pitching in this game. Let's see what's going on with old Carrera, man. I don't know what's been his issue here lately. I don't know if he doesn't like batting lead off or what, but in the last game again, look, I mean, he hasn't hit a home run since July 18th. So does that change today? I don't know. I mean, he's been very below average. He hasn't had a double-digit fantasy performance since July 22nd. So proceed with caution. He's gonna get a lot of at bats. Kansas City bullpen is not good. Buxton is back in the lineup. He finally came back with a good game. I'll run him back again. I'll run that top of the order back up, with them. So definitely like Buxton. I did. Kepler's not in today because of him being a lefty, Yarbrough. So Solano's always been a good top of the order. I like the top of the order with him. He could definitely drive a ball in the gap, maybe get a double or even get a home run. So I think they're favored in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, -170, not by much, but I mean that's pretty okay. Going against Kansas City. If we look at what Minnesota's doing, they gotta win, man. They lost 4 in a row. So Kansas City, they've been putting. So they got an ace on the mound. Roll my head out there, get the talented hitters, get that top of the order in there. If it's someone down in the bottom of the order or mid, Polanco is back. I think this is like his second or third game back from injury. Let's see if he's in the lineup. There we go. He's batting 5th. I know these are the usual names, but that's kind of what I want to roll with. He's a good hitter now, trust me. He's just been trying to get back into swinging things, but he's a good contact hitter, and he can hit for power, man. So he's got a hit in his last 2 games. He's kind of coming around, so I don't know about Deli's not going to take him out because his switch to get him in your lineup. They've been scoring runs. I don't know. I don't really see them getting to Maeda, man, honestly. Salve hasn't went deep since the Cleveland series. Got 2 hits yesterday. He got a good eye to plate. That's all I can tell you. All right, he got a good eye on the plate. It'll be a big achievement for Kansas City if they sweep Minnesota, who's a league leader in their division. Maybe that's why they're playing so hard, because they're their arch rival in the AL Central. They're trying to prove a point that they can beat Kansas City. Wouldn't that be something if they go out there and sweep these guys today? So Melendez, let's see what he's talking about. Didn't do much. He's tricky. He's sneaky though. I mean, he can come out and he can get a home run, man. I mean, so Maeda, I've seen him come out of the gate and have issues starting the game out. But his numbers just look so good against Kansas City. And this is a must-win for them. They're falling and fading. They need him again. So run him out there, man. Run him out there. He's 1-0 against them. 9 Ks, .57 whip. Away games, a lot better on the road, too. So run my head out there, guys. Don't really fear anything Kansas City is doing. Got Savali and Kopech. Kopech has been up and down all year. 21 against the Mets and sinks down to 7. He had 36 against Cleveland and goes down to 16. He has a high ceiling, man, but he just has not put it together, and he has a tough matchup against Cleveland, who don't strike out a lot, but he found a way to get 9 strikeouts against them. Let's see if he's won lately. And no decision again. I remember that game against the Cubs. They got to him pretty good. He handled the Mets very well. So let's see the White Sox, they're just not a team that they're not a team you want to bet on right now. Cleveland, man, they know that Minnesota got their ace on the mound. He's more likely to win, so they got to take advantage of Kopech today. How they do that is why you're going to tune into it. Let's see here. So they got Quan at the top, who I like. 2 great lefties at the top of that lineup. Gimenez 3, 4. Man, I like the top all five. All these guys, he's tough, man. He got to go against all lefties. The first five hitters. Then Gonzalez is not bad, and Brennan is a left. So honestly, the first like 7 batters against Kopech, he's got some. He's got a lot to work around, man. So he went 7 innings against them against Cleveland. He won. He dominated them. He really needs another good performance. So I mean, he can do it. The line is, favoring Cleveland, but there's a little edge that White Sox could be a good underdog today due to who's on the mound. So we see Kopech has had some success against them. Savali hasn't pitched against them. He's a righty. That does bode not bad for him because most of the guys in their lineup that can give him issues are righties like Berger and Lewis Robert Jr. and Eloy and stuff like that. Benintendi doesn't hit for a lot of power, so he's been actually very good this year. Had 2 no decisions in the last 3 games. He beat Kansas City. Had no home runs, only 1 run. His pitching is solid. I see pitching in this game, man. Honestly, over under is 9. I would go under, man. I do see Cleveland having a little edge in the bats. I really like what I'm seeing with the top of the order with them. They got Tim Anderson back at the top of the order, and they dropped Benintendi out of the top, and he's batting 5th. Moncada's batting 2nd. He's better from the left side. It is hard to root for the White Sox, man. They're 20 games under 500, man. They got a little power in the lineup with Berger and Robert. Eloy not in the lineup, man. So I like Savali with no Eloy in the lineup. No Grandal. Like, this lineup looks sad, man. Honestly, Tim Anderson doesn't have any power. There's not really much there, man. I like Cleveland all the way. I don't really like White Sox at all. I mean, you can take Robert Jr., but he may not even get a lot of opportunities for RBIs because I don't know if any of those guys can get on base. So Cleveland all the way. They got Tampa Bay and Houston. Belak on the mound. I think he looked pretty bad in his last start. In that game with Texas, he didn't get even past 5 innings. Gave up 2 home runs. Texas is a tough team, though. But his ERA is under 4. He's been walking a lot of batters. That's his issue. 4 walks in that Texas game. 3 against Colorado. Another 4 against Colorado in the previous game. 3 in Cincinnati. And when you walk in almost, when you walk the amount of batters as your strikeouts, that's not good. And Tampa Bay, we know they are not playing up to what they were at the beginning of the year. They're now a game and a half behind Baltimore. It's a tough game, man, honestly. Houston is 1 game back, so both of these teams are kind of mirror image. They're trying to get back in first place. Or be in first place. That's funny. So Houston is at home, man. At home, they're 28-24. They're great on the road. Tampa Bay on the road, they're a game over 500. They're better at home. So they don't travel as well. They're in a bullpen day. Let's see. It's looking like Houston gonna be favored in this one, man. Bullpen days are not where you want to be as a manager. Yep, and they're minus 125, man. Because they're in a bullpen day, that's why the over/under is at 9.5, man. And Belak walks too many people, and Littell's not gonna be in there long. So I don't like any of the pitchers here. I don't like, if you listen to me, man, I don't like pitchers that walk people at all. It's 6,800, man. 6,800. Tampa Bay, man. They're a sleeping giant, man. They can wake up at any time. So they got Yandy at the top, Franco, Arizona. I mean, from top to bottom, I like everybody in Tampa Bay, honestly. I like the whole damn lineup, bro. Sean Armstrong, again. Houston is deadly, man. I mean, I don't really need to talk about it, man. So, I mean, Armstrong, these guys are platoon guys. They're not going to be in it for more than an inning. So, no one's going to roster these guys. If you do, man, you're really betting on a star that they can get one of these. But that's not enough to take down the slate. 6 points, you can't do that. So, he's a righty. The tail is a righty. He might go maybe 2 or 3 innings. So, avoid these bullpen guys. Tucker is definitely in play. Jordan is definitely in play. I mean, these guys are favored. Alvarez, he's coming off an injury, but he got back in the swing of things yesterday. This is going to be a duel, man. I see offense, again, he had 3 hits yesterday, so that's not good. They're going to probably avoid him, but he's going to get opportunities batting 5th. You know, Tucker didn't do anything yesterday, so his salary is a little bit under $6,000. So I like Houston, man. I do, man. I mean, they got Tuve. Pena is actually very good too. Pena is a great hitter. He's a sleeper there in that batting second. He's gonna always get a ball to hit. He doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he does have 10 home runs. But look at that. 2 hits, 1 hit, 2 hits. He got 4 RBIs, man. He's going to get a lot of opportunities. He's definitely somebody you can roster. Coming behind Altuve. Altuve is one of the best eyes in the league. He's eating them up, man. I mean, they're making a statement against Tampa Bay. This is like 2 teams that have high expectations in the AL, and they're battling out. Again, I see them really getting at each other today. And you can definitely roster some players in this team. I don't see anybody stopping the bats in that game. Alright, I like the lefties there. I like everybody in Tampa Bay, man. I don't like none of the pitchers. I like all the lefties in Houston. I like Pena. Did Abreu do anything? Oh, he had an anomaly game. Look at that. He likes playing Tampa Bay. Somebody must have whooped him with a belt or something. Alright, Abreu is showing out. 2 home runs in his last 2 games. Yeah, put him back in there. 3,700. He's cheap. He's gonna get all the opportunity. Him and the other dude, they're gonna get a lot of opportunity. Alvarez, man. Houston looks good for a stack today. Alright, so we got the very boring St. Louis Cardinals. Boy, do I hate talking about that team. Losers of their last 3. This is going to be very short, man. I'm more excited about the Cubs than I am of St. Louis. I mean, they got Matz on the mound. He's horrible, man. I don't give a damn what he did against Cubs last time in Arizona. I mean, he's looking good here, man, but he's fool's gold, man. And he's susceptible to giving up the long ball. Now, he hasn't been doing it much. But I know this guy's history. He's been getting off the hook. So with all these great numbers, he's only won 1 game in his last 5 starts. So either he's untimely with what he's doing, or they're not giving him run support. But the strikeouts have been mediocre. 6-6-4 in his last 3. He did have 9 against the White Sox. His competition, it's been kind of shaky. I mean, he should have dominated Miami. He didn't. He did dominate the White Sox. Didn't dominate Washington. He doesn't, his 2 strikeouts against Miami, shows that he can have issues getting people out. He doesn't walk a lot, and he hasn't been giving up the long ball. So, I mean, against the Cubs, he gave up 1 earned run, 5 innings. He gave up 3 hits, got 6 strikeouts. So he held his own. At 5,800, if he comes back and gives you 20 points, you just gotta shake his hand, man. But He ain't 5,800 for no reason. He can definitely get you one of these minus 6.8. Look early in the season. When you can say, why is he 1-7? Look what he was doing early in the year. He was horrible. So I don't know if he got some kind of incentive in his contract, but he's actually pitching pretty good lately. But the Cubs are batting the ball very well. He's at home, so I'm gonna look at one simple stat. At home, he's 0-4. Alright, so say no more. He hasn't won at home. So I don't like the guy. I really don't like him. I mean, I've never really cared too much about Mats. Hendricks, he's not great either. He's kind of descended a little bit. He doesn't get a lot of ground balls. As you can see, he had 12 in that White Sox series. He's a righty, so I know Goldie does better against righties. Let's see. He doesn't give up the home run as much. Again, he's more of a ground ball pitcher. Boston is tough, man. Then they got some good lefties in their lineup. So, I mean, he's been doing okay. I mean, St. Louis, you just can't be afraid to run a lineup out of them. I think they're about to kind of like tap out, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they make some kind of trade or something. I mean, they're not going anywhere. I mean, right now the Cubs got a lot more to play for. Cubs are a game over 500 on the road. These guys are 7 games on the 500 at home. They need a win, but they've been needing a win and a winning streak for a while, St. Louis. They can't put it together. So I don't really care too much for that team, man. I like Hendricks, way better than Mats. So Bellinger, Nico, Morel, Swanson, Gomes. They got Gomes batting clean up, man. They letting them know they flexing on St. Louis right now with that. That's kind of an insult that they got Gomes batting clean up against Matt. So a new Bart could maybe show you something. Goldie, Gorman has great metrics against righties. I mean, I'm not going to be a cheerleader for St. Louis. If they come out and win, you shake their hand. They could be a sneaky stack today because of Gorman, because of DeYoung. They are missing Contreras. That sucks. And Contreras has always been a good opposing batter against them. That's gonna hurt them though. But I give a thumbs up to Cubs in this match. I think they jump out on Mats early. I mean, they got St. Louis favorite, but I see that as an error. I'll take some money on the Cubs. Put some money on the Cubs on the money line, guys. Alright, man. We gotta let this go so we can kind of get something posted. It's about an hour, so good luck in your lineups, man. Thanks for tuning in.